Big Al grabbed the football, looked at me and said, "Go on. Red 25. Red 25. Ha ha." And he cocked his arm back and he let that ball sail. Meanwhile, I'm running down the football field as fast as my little 12-year-old legs will carry me. And Big Al throws the ball, so I have to dive for it. And I dive it, and I catch, and I pull it in, and I do a face plant into the grass, and I hold on. And Big Al yells out, "Woohoo, yes!" Yuck! I hate doing face plants in the grass. All of us 12-year-old team members hate it. But we do it over and over again in practice because we love Big Al and we love hearing him cheer us on. Madam Toastmaster, fellow of former 12-year-olds, did you ever have a Big Al in your life? Did you ever have a teacher, leader, or coach who saw the potential in you and tried to draw it out? Big Al was 5'6", my height, 240 pounds, strong as an ox, and he looked like a big Winnie the Pooh with a whistle. After throwing the football to us, Big Al would tuck the ball under his arms and begin running back and forth the field in front of us. And all of us 12-year-olds would try to tackle him, and he'd end up dragging 6 or 7 of us across the field. Big Al was the big brother all of us 12-year-olds dreamed of. Who was the Big Al in your life? Who was the teacher, leader, or coach who knew that to get the very best out of you, they had to make it fun? Well, Big Al brought out the very best in all of us, and it wasn't long before we were heading towards the championships. That game was intense. It was like a big seesaw. We'd score, they'd score, we'd score. Who was gonna win? With 2 minutes left on the clock, it became a nail-biter. We were ahead by 2 points. I found myself the lone defender between their running back with the ball and our end zone. I put my head down and started running towards him. He put his head down and started running towards me. Suddenly I realized, this guy's huge. I'm getting out of here. But I'm like, "Brian, no, you can do this." And I go in for the tackle, and he hits me like a Mack truck, and I'm spinning around, and I'm flat on my back, and he runs into the end zone. And my mind is off in another world. And then I come back to earth and realize, oh no, I let Big Al down. Big Al never yelled at me. He just said, "Atkins, sit this one out." I hung my head as I walked over to the bench, and there was my friend Scott. He, on the other hand, had no trouble out yelling at me, "Brian, dude, you missed that tackle. You let him get in the lead." I sat down on the bench. I felt so rejected. Were they taking me out of the game? Were they going to put me back in? But they kicked the point after, and Big Al yelled out, "Atkins, get back in there. Let's see what you can do." And they put me back deep on the return team. I'm like, what are you, crazy? I've never done this before. But it's my chance to redeem myself. I stood back there, and the other team, upon seeing this, they kicked the ball straight to me, and I caught it. And I looked to my right, and there's my teammate, the huge 6-foot-tall Michael Yu, with a look of sheer determination on his face. And I pulled the ball, and I began to run, and my team gathered around me, and they protected me. And they opened a hole for me you could have driven a tank through. Now, I wish I could tell you I ran it back for a touchdown. But I didn't. I ran it back just far enough to put us into scoring position, and the next play we drove it into the end zone, and we went on to win. But perhaps more importantly for me, I was beginning to believe in myself. And isn't that what a great teacher, leader, or coach does? They look around for opportunities for you to succeed, and they push you out there, and you go out there and you get knocked down. And they pick you back up and they push you back out there and you go out there and get knocked down until you begin to see the potential that is within you, and they push you out there and you have a breakthrough. And when a teacher, leader, or a coach shows you the potential that is within you, you remember them for the rest of your life. It's been 48 years since I played for Big Al, and it seems like it was yesterday. I will never forget Big Al. He changed my life. Who was the Big Al in your life? More importantly, how can you be a Big Al in the life of someone else? How can you become the difference maker in somebody else's life? Who's going to remember you after 48 years? Madam Toastmasters.